cannot remember what chapter I'm up to. It's still fucking toxic. Magnolia Parks vibes. I am struggling with this. I'm like, it's just kind of boring. The spice is good. I'm so uninterested in the plot. It comes out tomorrow and I haven't started it. And it's apparently her spiciest book yet. Some major reveals just happened. So I will be here for the foreseeable future. Just got a penis piercing. Would I reread it? Probably not. But I think the other ones get better. They were so much fun. I have finished this godforsaken book. Happy Monday, friends. Welcome back to the vlog, or welcome if you're new. My name's Lauren and we are doing a weekly reading vlog. And the first book that I'm reading this week is The Wrong Bride by Katharina Mora. I have the physical book. This is the book that I'm reading. I started it last night, so I've read like the first 25%. I'm reading it on my Kindle though, so I don't have it on me. I think I cannot remember what chapter I'm up to, but I'm really enjoying this so far. I have been spoiled for how this is gonna go, but I'm curious to see what happens and how I feel about it. So I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but this is an arranged marriage trope, and it's like her sister's arranged husband, and then she has to, like, the sister doesn't show up to the wedding and she has to get married to her sister's fiance, who is also her best friend's brother, who she's had a crush on like her whole life. Curious to see how we're going. I'm gonna read a little bit more now and see how we go, but yeah, not sure how I'm gonna feel about this. Okay, so I'm officially just over 50% of the way through this book and I'm unsure how I feel at this point. I feel like I'm not rooting for either sister because I feel like they're both being horrible to each other. So I'm hoping that Hannah shows us that she is horrible, like really horrible, and I hope that Raven redeems herself in a way, because I feel like she's also being very calculated and manipulative in terms of the way that she's conducting herself with Eris to get back at her sister. Like, the chemistry between Raven and Eris is definitely there and it's superior. It is great. I enjoy that. But I'm unsure how I feel at this stage. All the billionaire elements are there, you know, the luxury rings, the luxury everything, all present and good. And there's also a lot of like my wife being dropped, which I adore. There is a scene where Eris stands up to Hannah, which again, 10 out of 10 scene. Like just on that scene alone, I hope that it goes, the rest of the, like the second half of this book goes well. I think it very much could. I just don't know at this stage. Yeah, unsure. But overall, it's entertaining. Like, I'm definitely like, it's definitely like binge worthy. Like, I don't want to stop reading. I just want to keep reading. It's addictive. Like, Katharina Mora definitely makes addictive characters and addictive stories, which is, I guess, a good thing. It's not a critique of a book. If it's addictive, it's, you know, you want to keep going. It feels very much like a train wreck, how Magnolia Parks feels. So I'm enjoying it at this stage. Am I going to give it a 5 stars? Probably not. But it's either going to be like a 2-star. Yeah, I reckon it's either going to be a 2-star or a 4-star. I don't think I'm going to middle road it. I think I'm going to end up being like, this is shit. I hate both the sisters. Or I'm going to really enjoy it because Raven's going to show that she's the better person. I know this isn't her debut novel, but it's definitely the first one in this series. So maybe that's why she's still like suffering, trying to figure out the world and how everything's supposed to go. And like flesh out each of these individual characters. But I have heard great things about the subsequent books, so we will see. I've cancelled my Scribd membership, but I've got like a couple of weeks left. I think I'm gonna listen to this. So Snow Place Like LA. It's part of that like Merry Little Meet Cute series. It's a Christmas in July novella, but I'm gonna give it a listen because it's warm in Australia. Slowly set the Christmassy mood. I feel like this might be the right book. So I'm gonna listen to this while I prep dinner. Really enjoyed Merry Little Meet Cute. I thought it was quite fun. So I think this will be a little sweet way to get me into the Christmas spirit. I did release another Christmas novel, I should say, that's called A Holly Jolly Ever After. I think I'm gonna save this audiobook for when I'm setting up my Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, probably next week, early next week. Don't know if I'm gonna do it on the weekend or during the week. I will see how we go. Okay, so this is where I have an issue with this book. So fucking Aries is meeting with Hannah and saying, I'm gonna be faithful to my wife, but maybe we'll get back together in 3 years. First of all, don't fucking lead her on. That'll make her more deranged than she already is. But then fucking Raven is asking him if they weren't married And he kisses her and says, is that enough of an answer for you? And telling her about his sexy dreams. These two are fucking toxic. Like toxic soulmates. It basically just gives me Magnolia Parks vibes. That's what I'm getting from this book. Okay, this is a super quick update. I did finish this. I ended up settling on 3 stars. It was okay. I liked the way Raven grew in the end, but I was just like, come on. Like the sister was horrible. But it was decent. And I also did read No Place Like Home. I enjoyed it. It was 3 stars. Very much miscommunication trope, which is fine. It's a good time. It's fun. I have no complaints. It was just a fun time. I am struggling with this. I'm like reading it on my Kindle, so I'm like halfway through it. I don't know exactly where I'm up to off the top of my head. I think I'm up to chapter 34 from memory. So I've got like this much left in the physical book, but I'm reading on my Kindle. Brutal Obsession is a strange one. Like I'm kind of bored. I'm not really obsessed with this. No major feelings right now. It's just kind of boring. He's just like blackmailing her and it's very slow. Like this one's probably too thick. I think the other ones obviously get better. But in the meantime, I've listened to almost 2 whole books because I haven't been able to sit down and read. But I've been listening to the St. Bew Prison series by Althorpe. So I finished the first one earlier and I'm thinking I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Currently on the second one, have like an hour left of the audiobook. Like I have like 1/3 of it, I think. Don't know how I feel about it so far. But these are really great wide choosers. This one's gonna be a bit more slow burn. They're always like 1 girl, 3 guys. Wide choose. There's always like a dark like suspense plot, which I always enjoy. They're really, really easy reads. Honestly, they're a fun time. The spice is good. There is more of a plot than just spice, which I really, really enjoy. That's where I'm at with my reading. I'm just feeling a little bit flat at the moment. So I'm gonna go read for a bit and just try and calm down. Happy Sunday, friends. So I finished Brutal Obsession this morning. I gave it 2 stars. I was really bored and like so uninterested in the plot. The plot all happened right at the end. I was like, whatever. I'm still gonna continue with the series because everyone has said it does get better. So no complaints from me. That's how I feel about that. I finished a beta read this morning, so I will talk more about that later on when it comes out. But I now have an arc read to do. I'm going to be reading Sparks Fly by JL Sky, which is a dear friend of mine, Jenna. It comes out tomorrow and I haven't started it. So, well, I've read like the first chapter. So I'm going to sit here and read for a little while, hopefully finish it. I'm not cooking tonight, so I am going to just sit here and read until I have to get up at any point. So I'm going to try and stay undistracted and just read. That is the goal. I know that this starts with a one-night stand. I can't remember the exact tropes, but all I know about this series is a sports romance, college sports romance series set in Blue Haven, which is like up near Byron Bay. They're college surfing romances, but this one has a rugby player too, so hot. And it's apparently her spiciest book yet. So I'm very excited. So I have like 30, I think I bought 30%, just short of 30% left of Sparks Fly. So I'm gonna sit here and finish this before I do anything else. It's getting really good. Some major reveals just happened that I was not prepared for. So I will be here for the foreseeable future, but I'm obsessed with this book. I am obsessed with the relationship dynamic. I am so ready for the rest of this book to continue and see where it goes. Cannot wait for these two to be like, we're obsessed with each other, we're in love with each other. So much has to happen in like 20-something% that I'm nervous. So I will be here. I finished Sparks Fly. I really freaking enjoyed this book. I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 stars, I think. I don't think it's quite a 5, but I really enjoyed it. Left me on a cliffy. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed the relationship. I wish we had gotten to see more of like their development. But there's no third act breakup, which I really, really enjoyed. I wish I had seen more sweet moments of them being together. So 4.5, really, really great. Can't wait to see where the next book goes. But this was such a fun read. I think I'm going to pick up The Temporary Wife next. Think I'm in the mood for this. I was going to start Devious Obsession, but I think I'm going to go this instead because Brutal Obsession was just not my favorite book. So I think this is the one I'm going to pick and read. I love the cover. I think it's beautiful. Marriage of convenience. So Luca is being forced to marry someone he doesn't want to marry. Can't say where this goes. This sounds similar to another book that I've read, but I think this one came out first. So see if hopefully it's better than its previous book because I liked it, but I hope I like this more. We've got the down angle, but I am 20% into this, I think. I put it down at like 20% last night. Put it down at 14% last night. I'm enjoying this so far. Not much to report. The relationship is building. There was a little bit of spiciness. But I'm gonna keep reading for about an hour or so and then I will tell you more thoughts. But yeah, it's okay. So I ended up stopping the Temporary Wife right at the time when they were making the marriage of convenience agreement. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm not overly invested in the relationship right now though, but I am very much invested into Valentina's story and the story of her family members. So we will see what happens. But I am listening to the second book in the St. View Psycho series. I've been like devouring this whole series, and book 2 is really good. Normally I find with her series, book 2 falls into a bit of a slump. It's a little bit of like a drop in excitement. This one, not so much. There's some really good funny moments. And one of the guys, Nash, who is her brother's best friend, just got a penis piercing. He just got... I don't know if he's getting a ladder, but I will let you know when I find out. So, happy Friday. I finished The Temporary Wife. I'm giving it 3 stars. It felt very like lackluster. Wasn't a lot of plot, just kind of fell flat. But it is good. It's a solid 3-star. It was based on basically spice. Very like slow burning. Like these two took so long to work out that they liked each other. But I'm into it. Would I reread it? Probably not. But I think the other ones get better. I also finished the St. View Psycho series. I gave them all 4 stars. They were so much fun. The plot, the character development, just the spice was so good. Elle Thorpe definitely knows what she's doing and she wrote a great book. I honestly have no complaints. If you haven't read those books, you should. You definitely should. They're great. What else is going on? I am now going to continue reading the Addicted After All. Yeah. Not sure how I'm going to enjoy that book, but we will see how we go. So yeah, that's my update for now. Clearly I'm just like being minimal on my updates because the books I've been reading have really had nothing major to say about them because they're either lots of spoilers or they're just not delivering. So yeah, gonna go with Addicted After All for now and see how I go. I decided to pick up Addicted After All and I'm not loving it, and I think it's because I'm so sick of being in Lily and Lo's heads and they're just not growing as individuals. Like this is book 5. This is the last book in their their relationship arc in terms of the series, and they're still doing the same shit over and over again, and I'm getting incredibly frustrated. So yeah, I've still got like a lot of pages to go. Like I still have 400 odd pages to go, but yeah, I'm gonna keep going and see how we go. But yeah, unfortunately that's the issue. Lily and Lo drive me nuts. They're incredibly insufferable, and I know that they're addicts, but at some point in a 5-book series there needs to be some point where these 2 addicts learn to deal with their addiction. Like Lo is no longer like he's dealing with his, you know, he's sober, dealing with his alcohol addiction, but nothing is being done about Lily's sex addiction. That's what's frustrating. It's just like Lily isn't as important, which is driving me nuts. So I'm gonna keep trying and see how we go, but I'll come back to it. I'm gonna keep going and see how we go. Yeah, not sure just yet, but I'm gonna keep reading. The other thing I didn't say is that Reich is so annoying. So annoying. Like he's the eldest of the group, or one of the older ones of the group, and he's still just like annoying. The things that he comes out of his mouth drive me nuts. I have finished this godforsaken book. Thank freaking Christ. Don't know if I'm giving it a 3 or a 2, but I like the last half. I just really struggle to be in Lily and Lo's heads. They drive me up the wall so much sometimes. So like they were more annoying in this and in Thrive than they were in the earlier books, which is just so strange. But anyway, yeah, not my favorite, but it's fine. I also just finished an audio Holly Jolly Ever After. I think I'm settling on a 4-star. It was a good read, fun time. It was great. And now I am going to read